Hi everybody, I'm AJ Mazzolini of the Missoulian newspaper, and welcome back to Birdwatching. Week 5 of the Pioneer League baseball season was not good to the Missoula Osprey. They're mired in a heck of a losing skid right now, having lost 9 of their last 11 overall to fall toward the bottom of the Pioneer League's North Division, just ahead of the Billings Mustangs, but only by a game. The Osprey are now just a single game away from being eliminated for that first half crown and a playoff spot into the postseason at the end of the second half, which is only about a week away at this point. Now, week 4 saw a lot of losing for the Osprey as well, but that was all coming because of relatively little offense. The Osprey were only scoring about 4 runs per game there, which is pretty close to their average for the season actually. But this week, the Osprey were scoring 7 runs per game, and yet they still managed to only win 2 out of the 7 games. Now, that's because the pitching all of a sudden kind of started to disappear, and they were allowing 9 runs per game, the pitching staff was, which wasn't helping anything at all and led to a lot of blowouts. Now, that number is a little skewed as well because of a 20-3 loss to the Ogden Raptors last Wednesday to start the week. That was the worst defeat of the year for the Osprey, as you can imagine a 17-run loss would be. The Osprey would score 10-plus runs in each of the next 2 games, but could only imagine a win in one of those. And that came in Felipe Perez's start, and he threw his second complete game of the year. All the rest of the Pioneer League has just 1 complete game total, so that shows you a little bit how rare what Perez has been doing this year. You know, he had one more start last week, but it wasn't quite as good. In fact, it was probably his worst outing of the year. He didn't even last 5 innings, which, coming from the Pioneer League's innings pitched leader, is a bit of a blow for the Osprey in their chances to win. That came in a 12-7 loss to Idaho Falls to wrap up that week. About the only other bright spot for the Osprey this past week was the hitting of first baseman Daniel Palka. He had 3 straight games with home runs, which helped lift his team high total to 5 home runs for the season, and that helped him get named by the league as the batter of the week for the Pioneer League last week. Now that matched Perez's honor as the pitcher of the week for the Pioneer League, which is actually his second nod of the season. The Osprey are coming home from a 7-game road trip now, just for a brief homestay, just 3 games against the Great Falls Voyagers starting tonight, Wednesday, before they're going to head back out on the road for a little bit longer. And the Osprey are hoping to start a little bit of momentum headed to that second half now that they're pretty much mathematically eliminated here for that first half playoff spot. And they're going to be playing the Voyagers and the Helena Brewers and Billings Mustangs, those teams that they are a little more familiar with here for the next couple weeks, all those Northern Division foes, which is good news for the Osprey considering they're 9-9 against the North Division so far, and only about 4-10 against the South Division foes in some of that interleague play that's been going on the past 2 weeks, which has really covered most of that losing skid. We'll have to see if the Osprey can get much going and hopefully get back into their winning ways that were happening about 3 weeks ago, which seems like a really long time ago at this point for everybody in the Osprey clubhouse, I'm sure. Tune in every Thursday for our birdwatching video online to go along with our weekly feature, Matching in the Paper. This week's feature is on pitcher Adam Miller, who went on a LDS mission with the Mormon Church for 2 years to Mexico and has been sort of battling his way back to get to where he was as a pitcher before taking all that time off. Check for that in the paper, and tune into Missoulian.com for our videos every week. Thanks for tuning in.